You mentioned bad business kills studios, not bad games. So when it comes to bad business, like what's actually killing the studio there when it comes to the bad business from a leadership perspective?
From a leadership perspective, I think one of the main things, expectation management. So leadership, of course, involves other people. If you tell them the next game is going to be the shizzle, we all going to be rich, and everything's built on top of that, and then reality normally hits and it doesn't work out, you will have a lot of people disappointed. So to balance this, yes, sure, a CEO, one of the key jobs is we have to have an idea of the future, involving also being ideally visionary. Great word, right? But if you are too visionary, no offense, you are living in what I call pipe dream Hausen, right? Hausen is like a German word for little village. And it is just very unrealistic. And at one point in time, no one's going to take you seriously anymore because whatever you basically thought what would happen in the future and told everybody is not happening. So why would I trust you anymore? So I think one of the key things is to build that trust, to have some vision, some exaggeration of that, right? You have to ideally stay positive, the captain of the ship, right? If you're there doom and gloom and you always think about, we could die in a minute, and then you tell everybody we could die in a minute, you're not going to run a successful business, right? And but again, stay grounded in a certain reality. I think that's one of the key things in leadership. Another thing is you have to build that kind of psychological safety, because if, again, you people are seeing the next rock around the corner you might bump into, but they are afraid of you or disappointed or whatever, and they're not telling you, you're fucked too, right? So you have to build that psychological safety, that it's okay for people in your team to say, did you think about that risk? Or, hey, I don't think you thought about, getting in touch with this person is a bad idea because blah, 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 right? You need a team sharing their thoughts, their feelings, and so on. That doesn't mean, on the other hand, that you run a democratic, again, don't want to diminish anybody, but to paint a picture, kind of a tree hugger club where everything's decided by consensus, right? That can be done in different form of associations and clubs and whatnot. Again, saving the environment is a great thing. So again, don't want to diminish the cause, but in a company, I think it's a very bad idea, right? This is you should invite people to discuss, but as a leader, you should not shy away, even in the beginning of a meeting, to say, guys, even if I ask your opinions now, I just want to make sure that I make the decisions in the end, but I value your opinion. So be also, don't bullshit your people, right? Don't give them the false sense of participation and so on. And this happens again and again, gaming industry. I've seen so many teams where let's do a game jam. And then there's a couple of things about, one of you will build our next game and we're going to do it and so on. So people think, yes, their games will be relevant, they might be produced and so on. And there's so many teams where in the end, they threw everything away from the game jam. So they're basically telling all the people, whatever you guys did is shit. Not necessarily outspoken, but that's the message, right? So if you do stuff like that, always think about your communication and what kind of expectations you trigger. Right? Yeah, there's definitely a couple of things already. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to dive in on that subject matter.